Hello guys, welcome to VIP-bet Odds Analysis Show. So it's Friday and today we're gonna analyze one more subject. So today we're gonna discuss a bit about the betting markets that we have available on football. There are many available markets, but for some reasons, at least myself, I exclude many of them. There is no reason to play them all, and there is reasons why I exclude them, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it. I hope you have enjoyed the subjects that we already talked, like bankroll management, value bet, why you need to compare odds, etc. So if you guys didn't watch those videos, go through them. Also, don't forget that the Tipster Leaderboard will start next week, so I'm already in, and I hope you guys also go through it. It's going to be a very nice competition. About football markets, about the markets that we have available when we want to bet on football. Well, there are many, but for me the most important ones are, of course, the money line 1x2. Definitely that it's a market that I use, especially because compared with handicaps, sometimes you can find some sportsbook offering a very good odd on 1x2, also because the payout is usually big, because sportsbooks need to show there is a big competition between sportsbooks, so they need to have a good payout, especially on the market that everyone sees. So and that market is 1x2, so sometimes it's even better to play 1x2 than a handicap. So that is a market that you always have to be in mind, and I think that, well, it is one of those that I use, and I think that you guys should use too. Then it's the over-ender. Of course, there is no way to skip an over-ender, so I like very much to play over-enders. It's a market also with a big payout, a very good payout usually by the bookmakers. It's a two-way market instead of 1x2, that it's a three-way market. Usually the payout is also very good, especially on big leagues, but that is something that we'll also talk about it on a future video, the difference between the leagues. So um, over-under is one of those that I use more. I prefer the Asian over-under, and if you guys explore a little bit, there is some difference. So over-under normally just have the main lines like over 2.5, under 2.5. So the Asian over-under, you have like 2.0, over 2.0, under 2.0. So there is some void bets in case you just hit the two goals. The game just have two goals. It's very interesting, and for sure that we also do a video about like the difference between those Asian lines and European lines, which is a very interesting subject. So beside 1x2 and over-under, both markets with a big payout, I use one more market that doesn't have such a big payout as those, but I like it. I like it because sometimes there is value, especially when it's a kind of game that you really know how it's going to be. So how are the teams, how they play, what are their intentions, like if they are happy with the draw, etc. So it's the both teams to score. Doesn't have a big such a bigger payout as the other two markets, but it's very important. It's very important to me to use it during the season. So that for me is the third market, and then the fourth market is the handicaps. I don't use too much the European handicap. Of course, that if I see a bit more value on that three-way handicap, I grab it, of course, but usually I use the Asian handicap. So as I told you before, like my range of odds is like very tight, 160, 2.4, and there is no way I'm gonna play a big underdog. So I always drop the odd with the handicap. That's my strategy in betting, and profitable so far. So as you say, as you normally used to say, like a team that wins, we don't change. So that's where I'm comfortable on my bankroll management. So and that's why I have some easiness and edge to find value bets. So that's the way I will continue in the future too. So those are for me the most important markets. But you have many, and I can here go through. You have here the so now I'm on odds comparison, but if you go like to free bets and find the bookmaker here, um, let me just check if so this so my connection if it's a bit slow is normal because I'm streaming, so let's wait a little bit uh, while so it's here. Reward yourself. uh, it's a bit slow, it's normal that the pages take a little bit to load. So while it's loading, like, don't forget this, the Tipster leaderboard, it's gonna start on 1st October, and look the prizes. Don't forget to read the rules as I told you, and you are ready to go. So you have your sum. You can go, for example, to bet safe and claim this £30 free bet. Oh, and I have bet safe here page open, so perfect. And on a game that I like, for example, on Premier League this week. And you have many markets. We talk about 1x2, it's here. You can see it here. 2.22 on Burnley to win. The draw around 3.25 and Huddersfield 3.7. By the way, this game I think that Burnley is a game as Crystal Palace. Like the edge, the value is on Burnley side. They are very strong at home, and their straight money line or draw no bet option that already dropped a little bit. It's the most interesting line on this match. But let's go through the markets. You have 1x2 as we spoke. You have here also the handicaps, like you have the handicap as the handicap with 2 goals, the handicap with 1 goal, and on this case on 2 goals on side of Burnley and 1 goal on side of Huddersfield, and 2 goals on side of Huddersfield and then 1 goal on side of Burnley. You have also the over-under, as you see here, possible one of the best markets. Double chance, which is very similar to the handicaps also. So if you, for example, go here and if you go so on handicap plus this handicap and the 1x is exactly the same, so it's preferable to play there because you have 4 ticks up. So those are some techniques that you can find over the sports books, because sometimes they don't use the model sometimes has some problems. So you can find here, for example, a difference of 4 ticks is completely normal. You find that on all sports books. So then you have the draw no bet. A draw no bet. I didn't refer the draw no bet as a market that I use because, like I told you, I use Asian handicap. So Asian handicap plus 0 is always the draw no bet option, and so draw no bet is also a market that I use a lot. So you have here also. So draw no bet means that always that with the draw your bet is void. So 149 for Burnley. It was a bit up in the week. And so far is not so juicy, I have to say, but I think that it will be Huddersfield start very well the season, but well, they should start should start going for their spot in the table. Then, as you can see, you have in numerous markets. Look, home win no bet, away win no bet, both teams to score that we discussed. This one is one of the most important for me. Then you have winning margin. You can bet on the correct win margin, half-time result, half-time and full-time result, like 1-1, like Burnley winning at half-time and then winning at full-time. So you have enormous. Then you can go through the goal scorers, saying if they're gonna score 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, an hat-trick. So you see here, first goal scorer, you can choose if they are the first goal scorer. You have many options. The thing is, this market sometimes, of course, that sometimes I play an anytime goal scorer, definitely. Of course, that sometimes there is value, but it's difficult to find them because the payouts are not so good. So the margin of sports books is better, as we discussed this on value bets. So it's more difficult for me to find value on those markets. Sometimes, of course, that there is, but most of the times the markets that I focus are 1x2, both teams to score, over, under, and Asian handicaps. Those are the main ones. So this video was to speak a little bit about it. As always, as you want, you can drop us an email or a comment on YouTube or in Twitch, and well, let us your questions, and or even for example about last video, like if you need help to structure your bankroll or to find some problems on your betting strategy, well, drop us an email, and I will be very glad to help. About value bets, we don't have many for this week, so we're gonna drop that this week, and we'll be back on next week about it. And our next show should be around Tuesday at same time, Tuesday at same time, 9 p.m. So I see you there.